up the alliance and accountability issues, which ODM has refused to account. This comes barely a week after ANC, Ford Kenya and Wiper leaders held a meeting and promised to communicate their resolutions soon. Duncan Haimba reports.
Indications that the Center for the 2017 Giant Opposition Alliance NASA could no longer hold and severed links beyond repair, at least for now, came to the fore 2 weeks ago when Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka, who ran on joint ticket twice, openly traded jabs.
I would be the most stupid fellow on the earth to go and support the third time a presidential candidate.
Lakini wengine wanasema ati hawawezi kuniunga mkono. Mimi si nimeuliza wao niunge mkono.
At the center of the looming NASA collapse is revenue sharing. In this letter, dated 21st May 2021, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, on behalf of ANC and Ford Kenya, wrote a protest letter to ODM leader Raila Odinga regarding revenue sharing agreement. The negotiations on NASA coalition political party funds disbursements between NASA constituent parties. Kalonzo says despite ODM Deputy Party Leader Governor Wycliffe Oparanya agreeing to a meeting on 7th May on steps to be undertaken in unlocking the deadlock, Oparanya failed to show up for meetings scheduled and confirmed by him on the 7th, 10th and 21st May 2021. Kalonzo adds, and I quote, "In this backdrop, let us have your response to the issues raised in this letter within 7 days of receipt, failure to which it will be understood that you have abandoned all efforts towards an amicably negotiated settlement on this dispute, the upshot of which being that parties resort to the contractual dispute resolution mechanism as agreed." End of quote. Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula says, and I quote, "What is left of NASA is winding up and accountability issues. Public resources have been channeled to one of the partners who has completely refused to account." He confirms that attempts by Wiper leader mandated on their behalf to reach out to ODM for the last 6 months in search of a solution has hit a dead end, with ODM remaining unresponsive. With regard to an imminent NASA collapse, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi says there are procedural issues to look at before the final decision is made. Obviously, people are working behind the scenes on the matter. End of quote. According to the NASA coalition agreement deposited at the Registrar of Political Parties, the coalition ceases to exist in the event 3 of the 5 parties pull out. CCM already ceased being a member immediately after the August 2017 general election and supported President Uhuru Kenyatta in the repeat presidential election, which NASA boycotted. Duncan Haimba, KTN News.
Right, so let me bring in our political analyst, not a new face and a new voice here on KTN News Center. I'm talking about Michael Agwanda joining us virtually. Mr. Agwanda, good morning. And you know, in politics, it is said that, you know, politicians can never become permanent enemies. But that is what are we likely to see that in the NASA coalition? Because what they're saying is that they have unreconcilable differences.
Linda, unreconcilable differences that we're seeing here today is not in regards to 2022 presidential election. The unreconcilable issues they're having here is in regards to money that they were supposed to share. But this is what we need to let the country know. Did ODM get the money on behalf of the other parties and refuse to share with them? Absolutely not. Because if that was the case, then they would have taken ODM to court. This was a gentleman's agreement. If there were discrepancies in that agreement, it needs to be addressed as a gentleman's agreement. But it should not be brought into the presidency of 2022. What they are looking at here is an agreement that they made as NASA coalition. And they said since NASA seemed to have had more MPs in parliament, it would be nice if they shared the loot that supports the party. For now, I think it's only NASA and Jubilee that is getting this money from the exchequer. But
Agwanda,
even though they were
indirectly, are you saying that this dissolving, that moving to court to officially dissolve NASA legally doesn't have anything to do with issues that have to do actually with funds? It's all about mistrust, political mistrust amongst the NASA principals?
For now, what we know is they are saying they've started the process. However, the end of the process might not ultimately mean that they're dissolving. If it is money issue, it will be resolved. And I know that what they are saying is ODM ought to have given them the money. But what they're not saying is, what if somebody from anywhere gives them that money? Will NASA still be intact? Perhaps that's a question we need to look at. They're looking at the money issue that they should have shared, that they did not share. But that does not mean that they cannot come together and look at the issue at hand, which is the presidency in 2022. Ngilu made it very, very clear. None of them, whether Musalia Mudavadi, whether Honorable Wetangula, whether Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, none of them can make it on their own for the presidency in 2022. They need each other. And therefore, threatening that they want to break NASA as a result of financial mistrust and financial disagreement is not really being honest in this case.
But then,
perhaps.
But then, that's something that has been filed by my colleague Duncan Haemba. We've heard it from Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka saying that he supported, Raila 3 times. He's talking about the presidential elections as a running mate. Probably he's saying that I cannot do that when I'm in my right mind. I can't again go ahead and give a political support to someone that I've been supporting for the last 3 presidential elections in this country.
But what is at hand today, as we can hear it from Kalonzo Musyoka and the other NASA former NASA affiliate, is that they are dissolving because of issues in regards to financial matters. It is not in a sense saying that I will not support any one of them. I can tell you for free, and this take it to the bank, none of them want to be in the cold in 2022. They will do anything possible to rally behind a presidential candidate that they know they will win. And for this reason, I still think that even though NASA might be dissolved, but it will come back in another name. So the individuals are still the same. They're still Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Honorable Wetangula. All these are the same team that are going to put up a formidable team to make sure that they're in the side of the presidency in 2022. I don't think any of them want to be out when the next government is being formed. And for that reason, they may say whatever they're saying today, but I guarantee you that they will want to be on the winning side and they will be counted in.
All right. And when I look at Sifuna's statement, the ODM Secretary General, this is what he has to say. He said that we've never known what amount of money they're demanding from us, meaning that the amount of money that the 3 NASA principals are demanding from the ODM party, the legal and factual basis of that demand. So at least when the matter is in court, we'll be able to know their claim against us. So even the ODM party comes out to say, you're demanding money from us, but we don't even know the amount of money you're talking about. So what is the real cause of disloyalty within the NASA coalition? Because after that mock swearing in of Raila Odinga, the ODM party leader, as the people's president, that mock swearing in that brought a lot of political tension in the country, that is where the rain started beating the NASA coalition and mistrust began from there. And Honorable Raila Odinga is on record saying that, you people never gave me the political support I needed from you. So then it begs the question, is it about the money? Is it about the political mistrust amongst the NASA principals?
2 things come into question very, very quickly. And the first one is what Secretary General of ODM party has said. If people are demanding money from you. They need to write to you officially and say, this is what you owe us according to the agreement we had. Seemingly, this is just a friendly agreement that was there in before. Otherwise, this gentleman would have taken ODM to court. Since they've not taken ODM to court for that reason, I strongly believe even them, they are still not sure of what they're looking for. That's what makes the whole thing ambiguous. And that's what makes the whole thing not a matter of principle, but a matter of financial, fights. But I can tell you for free, if the money is what they want, and they think, as they may think that they're hugely important for the NASA, I can tell you for free that that money might come. It will come from somewhere else. It might not come from ODM, but it might come. What I am seeing with these three leaders is they're raising their stakes high so that they will be indispensable in the next formation of the government and in the next support of the person that will be running for president and will be clinching that position. But again, when we are looking at these individuals, we are looking at Musalia Mudavadi, we are looking at Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, we're looking at Wetangula, and the other NASA, affiliate parties that were there before. One thing that Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga has said very consistently is some of these things that they are talking about were not fulfilled because he's not the president. Had he been the president, perhaps these things would have been fulfilled. But another thing that we also need to look at is when you go out and you say you will not support, like Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka saying, I will not support Raila for the fourth time for that reason. I don't think there is anywhere written how many times you need to support a single individual, for him to amount to a position that he's looking for. It's a matter of principle. And I strongly believe as we go forward, NASA is, there are few people that are not happy in NASA, but all these men and women that are talking about breaking NASA knows that no single one of them can amount to be the president without the support of each other. And for that reason, they need one another. And it doesn't matter whether they go to the media and how many things they say. At the end of the day, I can guarantee you they're going to come together and they're going to look at how to form the next government. I know for a fact.
So, Agwanda, allow me to cut you short. So now they're taking the legal route to dissolve NASA. But how easy will it be? Because I'm just thinking about the National Delegates Conference that has to be, to be held for that decision to officially be made. How easy will it be to dissolve NASA?
Depositing an instrument of a coalition or a relationship with the registrar of political parties is nothing but relationship between individuals. Did this gentleman talk? Yes. Do this gentleman share a podium? Yes. Do this gentleman visit one another? Yes. And for that reason, I don't see it going a personal way where they can completely dissolve NASA. It's really difficult because it is a matter of principle, it's a matter of discipline, it's a matter of friendship amongst them. They still attend functions at the State House. They still get to government offices, government functions together. These people talk, and politicians sometimes what they tell us in public is what they don't necessarily, do in private. And so since they still talk, and there are also a number of people that are, outreaching them and reaching to one another so that they can stick together. The president has been pronounced, saying that he wants NASA to be together. I strongly believe that they might have just a little bit teething issues, but ultimately they're going to come together, and NASA might dissolve instrumentally when it's taken, they say we're going to court and we're going to dissolve it, but the individuals remain the same and they're still going to work together. All right, and the reason as to why I was asking you about the practicability, as much as they're saying they're going to use the courts to dissolve NASA, finally, officially dissolve NASA because of financial accountabilities, and I'd asked about, having to convene a delegates conference to give a green light for that dissolvement of the NASA coalition. But let's look at the other side of the coin, because as we speak, Agwanda, Ford Kenya has dispute over the position of the leadership of that party, and I'm talking about the Secretary General, with both Kiminini, Member of Parliament, Dr. Chris Omalwa, and Tongaren MP, that is Honorable Simiyu, battling the position.
And ANC, as we speak, does not have a Secretary General, so lack of leadership within that party may also prove as a very hard nut to crack for the Ford Kenya party to pull out of NASA.
It is unfortunate that this NASA, some of the NASA principals seem to be fighting one principle, and they're going after the neck of Honorable Raila Odinga. That is really quite unfortunate. I don't know what makes them that mad about Raila Odinga other than the money issue. I don't think if we want to move a country forward, we need to look at individual and look at how much is probably getting and how much is not sharing. But we need to look at what can unify the country. We need to look at what can bring the country together. And we need to look at what will build the next government.
All right.
I agree. Some of this, as you mentioned correctly, that we know that Ford Kenya is having internal issues themselves. So they cannot even make substantial decisions that would amount to withdrawing from NASA. I also know that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka has a soft spot for the leadership and integrity of this country. And I want to see those changes take place. I don't think the money issue is not going to, I don't think the money issue is the only thing that will break this friendship that has been there for a very long time. What I see happening in this country is people are gravitating towards a table and they're saying, I need a share of the next government. And sometimes they can do it silently, sometimes they can do it very loudly, as the other NASA principals are doing it now.
All right.
If they were not very happy with NASA and they wanted to break NASA, they didn't have to go to court. NASA did not begin from the court. It began from a friendship and people meeting together. And that's the only way it can break. And for your information, there is no permanent enmity in politics. And therefore, there is no reason for taking another politician to court because, I'm not happy with them. And for that reason, I'm taking him to court. That's why I don't take these threats very seriously. I see them asking, Honorable Raila Odinga, can you endorse me? Can you endorse me? And the louder they speak about dissolving NASA, is the louder they're saying, I need to be endorsed, I need to be endorsed. But that begs the question, why must they be asked and consistently asked to be endorsed? Why can't they go out there and ask for votes and see how many votes they can bring on the table so that they can bargain with those votes and say, from my area, I can bring 3 million votes, and here it is how I can bring it. In that way, they'll have stakes. But having stakes about an agreement that perhaps was not honored in a gentleman way, I think that is not how you want to run next government.
All right, Michael Agwanda, thank you so much. This is a topic that can never end. Definitely, we'll have you back on KTN News Center on another day just to continue discussing more about this NASA, dissolving of NASA using the legal way, the courts. But then,